Prime Minister of Malaysia is the head of government and holds the highest political office in the country. This position is the most important in the parliamentary system. It's also crucial as the Prime Minister to direct the executive branch of the federal government and is responsible for overseeing the cabinet, which is the main decision-making body in Malaysia. Since Malaysia's independence on August 31, 1957, there have been 10 Prime Ministers, which is started from Tunku Abdul Rahman. Recently, on November 24, 2022, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim was appointed as the 10th Prime Minister, which is the current Prime Minister in Malaysia. Successful Prime Ministers are those who can adapt to changing circumstances while remaining committed to their visions for the country. In Malaysia, this role has evolved through various leadership styles and political challenges since independence. Our focus on this discussion is about the second Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Abdul Razak Hussein, which is known as the Father of Development.
Tun Abdul Razak was born on 11 March 1922 at Pulau Keladi, Pekan Pahang, which is a village located northwest of Pekan. Tun Abdul Razak was born into an aristocratic family. His father, Haji Hussein bin Muhammad Ta'at, was a prominent figure in Pahang, serving as the village chief Orang Kaya Indra Shah Bandar, which is a hereditary title. Tun Abdul Razak began his early education in his hometown at local Malay school. He received a basic education in this school, which is focused on traditional Malay subject. The school also played an essential role in preserving Malay culture and language. After Tun Abdul Razak received his early education in local Malay school, he continued to receive a secondary education. Tun Abdul Razak attended Malay College Kuala Kangsar, MCKK, which is a prestigious boarding school known for nurturing many leaders of Malaysia. After that, Tun Abdul Razak pursued higher education in law. Prior to this, he briefly attended Raffles College, a prestigious institution in Southeast Asia, known for producing many notable figures in the region. However, his studies were abruptly interrupted by the outbreak of World War II in 1939. The war caused widespread destruction across the region. Following the end of World War II in 1947, Tun Abdul Razak went to the University of London to resume his academic journey in law and trained at Lincoln Inn, one of the 4 inns of court in London. After completing his legal studies, Tun Abdul Razak returned to Malaysia in 1950 with a strong determination to contribute to the nation's progress. He began his career in the public service as the Assistant State Secretary of Pahang. In the same year, 1950, Tun Abdul Razak transitioned into politics, which he joined the United Malays National Organisation (UMNO). He emphasized the need for the Malays to unite to face the challenges of British colonialism and fight for independence. After Malaya achieved independence in 1957, Tun Abdul Razak took on increasingly important role in the new government, which is he became a Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence from 1957 to 1917. After that, in 1917, Tun Abdul Razak became the second Prime Minister of Malaysia, replacing Tunku Abdul Rahman.
Hari ini adalah hari yang paling bertuah dalam sejarah bagi diri saya. Inilah kali pertama saya berucap kepada saudara-saudara sekalian sebagai Perdana Menteri selepas menerima pelantikan oleh Duli Yang Maha Mulia Di-Pertuan Agong.
Next, let we start with the contribution of Tun Abdul Razak in social. The first one is FELDA. FELDA is Federal Land Development Authority that was establishment in 1950-60 by Tun Abdul Razak Hussein, the father of development. FELDA was created to address rural poverty and landlessness among the Bumiputera population by developing agriculture, settlements and providing opportunities for sustainable livelihoods. The second one, contribution in social, is Majlis Amanah Rakyat that is MARA. Tun Abdul Razak Hussein played a significant role in the establishment and development of Majlis Amanah Rakyat MARA as part of his vision to uplift the Bumiputera community economically and socially. In 1960, he transformed the Rural Industrial Development Authority (RIDA) into MARA through the Akta Majlis Amal Rakyat 1960. MARA was designed to address economic and social disparity faced by the Bumiputera population by providing financing assistance, training and advisory service to support small and medium enterprise. Next, we move to the second contribution to Abdul Razak in economy. The first one is New Economy Policy, that is NEP, that was introduced by Tun Abdul Razak in 1971. The aim at reducing poverty and addressing economic differences between ethnic groups in Malaysia. Its goal was to improve the economic situation of the Bumiputera community while ensuring fairness for all Malaysians. The second one of contribution Tun Abdul Razak in economy is Rural Development FAIRUZ. Tun Abdul Razak was often called the father of development, made a harsh impact on rural development in Malaysia. During his time as Prime Minister, he focused on improving the life of people living in rural areas who made up most of the population back then. His goal was to reduce poverty and improve the basic facility and opportunities available to rural communities so that they could have a better future. He also worked hard to improve infrastructure in the rural areas. He made sure that roads, schools, clinics and basic services like water and electricity were provided to rural villages.
Throughout Tun Abdul Razak's political journey, he held many positions. After independence, Abdul Razak was appointed as the Deputy Prime Minister as well as holding several ministries, including the Minister of Defence, Minister of Rural Development and Minister of Internal Affairs. The first contribution of Abdul Razak when he became the leader of UMNO in 1959, he also had a profound impact on the history of the independence struggle and the development of Malaysia. As the leader of UMNO, he took strategic steps to reinforce UMNO position among the Malay community. Next, the formation of Barisan Nasional in 1974 was a move led by him, who was the second Prime Minister of Malaysia at that time. The formation of Barisan Nasional not only changed the political landscape of Malaysia but also served as a platform for social and economic development. Lastly, he also played a key role in several important national events such as the establishment of Malaysia, the Malaysia-Indonesia confrontation, the expulsion of Singapore in 1965, and the 13 May tragedy. On the international stage, Abdul Razak was also the leader responsible for negotiating with Indonesia to end the confrontation launched by that country against Malaysia, which was orchestrated by Indonesia Communist Party (PKI). The late Abdul Razak also represented Malaysia at the 1966 Bangkok Talk and the 1963 Manila Talk. The late Abdul Razak also made several peace visits to countries in Asia, Europe and the United States.
About 3 decades after that, Felda settlers had become instant millionaires when their farmland was purchased by the Negeri Sembilan and Tabung Haji. This purchase allows each settlers to receive 1.1 and 1.4 million in compensation. A 1997 research indicated that the first compensation money was spent on car purchases, household appliances, house repairs and jewelry. However, majority of the settlers maintained some of their settlement money in the bank and invested in ASN or ASP. MARA plays a major role in educational opportunities for Bumiputras and provides support such as financial and training to small and medium entrepreneurs. Nevertheless, SME trainers' average level of understanding of the ideal condition for aspiring business owner is medium low. There is still an opportunity to improve the IKM trainees' level of understanding regarding the accommodating environment. They still don't know enough about the government's or government agency entrepreneurship training and advice. Until now, our people still have not paid off debts for MARA.
Dilakukan selepas pelakon berkenaan tidak membayar hutang pinjaman MARA hampir RM1 juta.
The low number of SME trainees engaged in entrepreneurship is due to lack of awareness of the favorable condition for prospective entrepreneurs. Their ability to recover is extremely low even if they engage in entrepreneurship, since they lack effective management and business planning abilities. New economic policy implementation is not reduced because it aims to decrease the economic inequality gap between races. The poverty rate of Malay families in 1970 was 64.8%, higher than the Chinese, which is total 26%, and Indians 39.2%. Bumiputra control only 4.3% of private sector equity, while non-Bumiputra have 34%, and the foreign national went to 61.7%, which is dominant further than others. Bumiputra participation in important economic sectors such as white-collar occupation and public administration. Ethnic Malay with tertiary education, which is secondary education, are 34 times more likely to work in white-collar jobs than those without a formal education. After the implementation of the new economic policy, chances for Malay participation in the business sector grew greatly as compared to 1970 data, at the same time reducing the Chinese and Indian advantage. During tragedy 30 May 1969, 49.3% of all families in Peninsular Malaysia earned less than the poverty line in 1970. Tun Abdul Razak declared Mageran and imposed an emergency and curfew in Malaysia to reduce dissatisfaction and contain the crisis, preventing its spread and harming all parties. Tun Abdul Razak Hussein invited the Parti Islam Malaysia, Parti Gerakan Rakyat Malaysia and the People's Progressive Party to join the Perikatan. The party leaders Datuk Asri Haji Muda, Tun Lim Chong Yu and Datuk Sri SP Simi Vazagam applauded the proposition for Malaysian national unity. However, Datuk Asri Haji Muda proposed changing the name from Perikatan to Barisan Nasional. All parties supported this plan, and this coalition was successful in bringing Malaysians together and rebuilding harmony.
Hussein faced numerous significant challenges during his tenure. The challenges encountered by Tun Abdul Razak Hussein were diverse and complex, particularly in the context of the country, politics, society, and economy in the early years following independence. Following the racial riots of 13 May, Malaysia faced significant political upheaval, prompting Tun Abdul Razak Hussein to suspend Parliament and govern through the National Operation Council until 1970. This period was characterized by a pressing need to restore stability and rebuild public confidence in the government after the widespread unrest that had resulted from deep-seated ethnic tension. Next, in 1973, Tun Abdul Razak Hussein established the Barisan Nasional coalition to replace the Alliance Party with the aim of creating a more inclusive political framework that represented Malaysia's ethnic diversity. The formation of BN was response to the rising ethnic tension following the 1969 general election and 30 May, during which the Alliance Party experienced a significant loss of support. Next, during the Abdul Razak Hussein leadership, Malaysia faced a persistent threat of communist insurgents, which posed significant challenges to national security. To address the issue, Razak had to balance internal security measures with necessary political reform while simultaneously fostering diplomatic relationship with China and strategic a move given the geopolitical tension of the time. 1970, nearly 49.3% of Malaysia lived in poverty, highlight a significant socio-economic challenge that the country faced. In response to this pressing issue, the new economic policy was introduced in 1971 with the primary aim to eradicating poverty and improving living standards, particularly for the Bumiputra community.
In rural development, recognizing that a significant portion of the Malay population was engaged in agriculture, Tun Abdul Razak prioritized rural development initiatives aimed to uplifting rural communities. His focus on development include substantial investment in infrastructure improvements such as the construction of road and irrigation system, which were essential of enhancing agriculture productivities. Next, Tun Abdul Razak Hussain recognized that enhancing the education landscape was crucial for the Bumiputera population to effectively participate in Malaysia's growing economy. As part of the new economic policy, education reform were implemented to improve access to quality education and develop skills that align with market needs. In social challenges, the 13 May riots in Malaysia were a pivotal moment in the nation's history, particularly in shaping its ethnic relations. The unrest were ignited by the outcome of the general election, in which the Alliance Party, historical dominant, lost significant support to opposition parties with a strong Chinese backing. Tension escalated when a protest by Malaysia support in Kuala Lumpur turned violent, leading to attacks on Chinese-owned business and widespread property destruction. This resulted in numerous casualties, especially among the Chinese population. Next, Malaysia educational reform, particularly the focus on standardizing curricula and promoting the Malaysian language as the primary medium of instruction, aimed to strengthen national unity. However, these policies have raised significant concern among non-Malay community regarding their presentation. The Razak report and the MBMMBI initiative, with aim to improve the proficiency in both Malay and English, have been met with criticism, particularly over the prioritization of Malay subjects such as science and mathematics.
We can see that Tun Abdul Razak was one of the key figures who played an important role in building the stability and unity of Malaysia. His pragmatic leadership and wisdom in addressing the post-colonial social and economic challenge enabled Malaysia to continue progressing. Not only in the economic sector, he also paid great attention to infrastructure development, education and the rural sector, ensuring inclusive and balanced progress. Therefore, Tun Abdul Razak's legacy continued to live on in various aspects of the life of the Malaysian people and will always be remembered. Through his involvement and contribution, Malaysia is now not only recognized but also proud of its achievement and position among the developed nations. Tun Abdul Razak dedicated his energy and entire life to struggle for national sovereignty, the welfare of the people and peace. His services are invaluable and his contribution to the country are immeasurable. May current and future generations learn from and understand Tun Abdul Razak's journey in shaping a more advanced and competitive Malaysia.